So here we have discussed the Faraday's law. It means the rate of change of magnetic flux passes through a coil, produce a EMF in the coil. So now we are discussing the energy stored in a coil. So here now the new topic is the energy in the magnetic field. In the magnetic field. So now we are discussing the energy in the magnetic field. You know that when this is the coil, it is connected with the AC source, the current will flow through it. So this is the coil. When this coil is connected to the AC source, it means the current will flow through it. So as a result, and this flow current can produce a magnetic flux d phi over dt, which passes through the same coil, produce back EMF in the same coil. It means work has to be stored in this same coil against the electromotive force. So it means we have to find out that energy which is stored in the coil. When you switch off, energy will restore. So this is the energy stored in the magnetic flux. So now here, this is connected to the source. As a resultant, the current which passes through this coil is a rate of change of current. So this rate of change of current will produce a rate of change of magnetic flux. And this rate of change of magnetic flux passes through the same coil. And this will induce the EMF in the same coil. This induced EMF is opposite to the cause that is producing it. And this induced EMF is known as a back EMF. अब यहाँ पे अगर आप ये देखें कि ये करंट फ्लो हो रहा है एसी करंट इसमें, और एसी करंट की वजह से जो फ्लक्स चेंज हो रहा है वो रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ फ्लक्स है, टाइम के साथ चेंज हो रहा है. और ये जो रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ फ्लक्स है ये इसमें उसी कॉइल में जिसमें करंट फ्लो रहा है उसी कॉइल में अलग से ईएमएफ जनरेट कर रहा है, क्योंकि बिकॉज फैराडे लॉ सेज रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ फ्लक्स passes through the same coil will induce the EMF in the same coil, and this induced EMF is a back EMF. It means this has to do work has to be done by this battery to overcome this induced EMF, and that work is stored in the magnetic field. And what we are discussing, work is the energy, and this is the energy in the magnetic field. So the energy in the magnetic field is equal to change in energy per unit time. W is the rate of change of energy. This is the rate of change of energy. And this rate of change of energy is known as power. So this power is equal to the product of EMF into current. This power, which is the product of voltage into current, and voltage we call it as the EMF into current. So this EMF can be rewrite as I. This EMF is equal to, in according to Faraday's law, di over dt. This EMF, this is the same coil which we call it as a L di over dt. This is the EMF. Clear? L di over dt. So we can write it as a P is equal to Li di over dt. This is the power or rate of change of energy. So now here, this can be rewrite in terms of the magnetic flux if we say that if we integrate it, dt will be cancelled out, so dw is equal to Li into di. Integrating both sides, this gives you a integration which is equal to Li di. It means when the current is zero, work is zero. So this is zero to maximum work, and this is the zero current to the maximum current. It means when the current is zero, the work energy stored will be zero. When the current is flowing in maximum, the energy stored will be maximum. So here, this integral into derivative will cancel out, integral and derivative will cancel out. So here this is W is equal to I integral over di. This is equal to L I square upon 2. Integral of I over di is equal to I square upon 2. So this is equal to 1 upon 2 L I square. This is the energy stored in terms of current and self-inductance. This is the energy stored in the coil in terms of self-inductance and current. If you have a problem in which current is given, self-inductance is given, and how much energy is stored in the coil, you can find out through this relation. Okay, so now this relation can be rewrite in terms of vector potential or in terms of magnetic flux. We know that magnetic flux phi is equal to B dot dA. The magnetic flux is equal to B dot dA. The flux phi, this B can be rewrite in terms of vector potential curl of A into dA. This B is equal to curl of vector potential. It means now our objective is to convert this energy in terms of magnetic field or in terms of vector potential. It means if we have a magnetic flux, magnetic field is given, how to find out the energy stored? If we have a vector potential, how to find out the energy stored? It means we have to calculate different relation, we have to derive different relation which gives the resultant of the energy stored in the coil in the different forms. So here, this can be rewrite as, again we have Li is equal to N phi. Li is equal to N phi. This is the equation of the self-inductance. So here, using Stokes theorem, phi is equal to Li upon N. Phi is equal to Ni upon N. So this is, let's say, equation number 1. Substitute this value of flux in equation number 1, we get, this is equation number 2. Compare equation 1 and 2, we get so comparing equation 1 and 2, we get Li upon N is equal to this integral of curl of A into dA. So N is multiplied over here. So Li is equal to this. So now this is the curl of A. Using Stokes theorem, this surface integral is converted into line integral by omitting the curl. So Li is equal to N. This surface integral is converted into line integral by A dot dN. So this curl is omitted out by the vector of the vector. So Li is equal to N into A dot dN. So now here, this can be rewrite in terms of the current here. Li, if we look here, Li, this is equation number 1, let's say. This is equation number 2. This is equation number 3. Compare 2 and 3. So if we substitute the value of Li from equation 4, Li from equation 4 into equation number 1, we get the energy. Substitute the value of from value of Li from equation 4 into equation 1. So here, because we have to find out, our main object is to find out the energy stored in the form of the magnetic field. So we have to find out W. So Li is again given. So here we have converted this Li in the form of the flux, or in the form of the vector potential, or in the form of the magnetic field. So Li is given now. We will substitute the value of L. Here this is N I into I. So we have to put the value of Ni only. So here W is equal to 1 upon 2 I is the current, and again Li is equal to this. Li is equal to N into A dot dN. N is the number of turns. For N is equal to 1, if we have a single turn, a coil, for N is equal to 1, if we have a single coil, if we have a single coil, N is equal to 1, then this W is equal to 1 upon 2 R integral A dot dN. So this is the energy stored in the form of the current in the vector potential. This can be written as W. I am writing it towards in this direction. So here W is equal to 1 upon 2 I into A dot dN. This can be rewrite as 1 upon 2 I, 1 upon 2 AI into dN. This I is the current. This current can be rewrite in terms of current density. I is the current, convert current in terms of current density. So current density I, you know that I is equal to J dot dA. So here, if we substitute over here, this is equal to 1 upon 2 integral A into J dot dA into dN. dA into dN is equal to d tau. Area into length is equal to volume. So this can be rewrite as 1 upon 2 integral A dot J into d tau. So this is the energy in terms of vector potential and current density. I have to convert it into the form of the magnetic field. So we have to convert this equation in the form of the magnetic field. We have to convert this equation in the form of magnetic field. So here W, here you know that curl of B is equal to mu naught J. We know that curl of B is equal to mu naught J. So J is equal to 1 upon mu naught into curl of B. So here substitute the value of J in equation number 5. So this is the J. Substitute the value of J in equation number 5. We get this value of J in equation 5, we get W is equal to 1 upon 2 A dot, this is 1 upon mu naught curl of B into D dot. So this can be rewrite as 1 upon 2 mu naught into integral, this is A dot curl of B into D dot. So this is the energy in terms of vector potential or in terms of magnetic field. So now we have to again convert it into the magnetic flux using vector identity. Here we are using vector identity to simplify this equation. Using vector identity, and the vector identity is divergence of A cross B is equal to the B dot curl of A minus A dot curl of B. This is the vector identity. We have a dot curl of B. So this bringing into this side, this bringing into this side. So this can be rewrite as a dot curl of B is equal to this bringing into this side, this into this side. So this is B dot curl of A. This bringing into this side means minus A cross B. So now substitute this value in equation number 6. We get this value in equation 6. So this equation 6 we have here So now equation 6 is this, is equal to 1 upon 2 mu naught integral of, this is the equation number 6, and this can be substituted like that, B dot curl of A minus divergence of A curl of B. This I have substituted the value into D dot. So here A dot curl of B, I have substituted this value which is equal to A curl of B, B dot. I have substituted this value in equation number 6. Just substituted this value from here to equation number 6, and this is equal to this value. I have rewrite it here, this value. Okay, so this integral is the integral on both parts, on this part, on this part. So we divide this integral as 1 upon 2 mu naught. This can be rewrite as the integral B dot curl of A into theta minus integral divergence of A cross B into theta. So here curl of B, curl of A is equal to B. You know that B is the curl of A. So this is curl of A is equal to B. So this B into B, B square. This W is equal to 1 upon 2 mu naught. This is equal to B square into theta minus, this can be written as divergence of A cross B. This divergence can be, this I am writing in the same, A cross B, theta. So here we have a divergence in this second integral. This is the integral over the volume. This integral, we have a divergence. This divergence can be omitted out by taking a divergence theorem. So if we apply divergence theorem on second integral, so this volume integral will be converted into the surface integral. So using the divergence theorem, using the divergence theorem to convert the second volume integral into surface integral. So here we are using a second volume integral into surface integral here. So this can be rewrite as W is equal to 1 upon 2 mu naught integral B square beta, and this is equal to minus A cross B upon dA. So these are the two integrals now. Clear? So this is the energy in terms of magnetic field and vector potential. So if we look into this integral, the contribution of second integral is over the area, the contribution of first integral over the volume. So for larger volume, the contribution over the surface is negligible. So the contribution of the second integral is negligible. So therefore this can be ignored as compared to the contribution of the first integral. The contribution of the second integral is negligible over the large surface area. So therefore W is equal to 1 upon 2 mu naught integral B square beta. So this is the energy is stored in the magnetic field, in the form of the magnetic field. Clear? So this is the simplest equation of the energy stored in the form of the magnetic field. यहाँ पे अगर आप ये देखें कि इसका कंट्रीब्यूशन हमने negligible क्यों किया? Because B varies with 1 upon R square. This A varies with 1 upon R. So A cross B varies with 1 upon R cube. So for larger surface area, the contribution is negligible because it varies with 1 upon R cube. So here, therefore, we say that its contribution is negligible. So the resultant energy is this. This is the integral over the volume. So this can be written as W dW over d tau integral is equal to B square over 2 mu naught. This is B square over 2 mu naught. इसको आपने इस तरह लिख सकते. This is known as the energy density. It means this is the energy stored per unit volume. So this is the energy stored in the form of the magnetic field. This is the end of this topic.